CNN tries to trick Tree of Life rabbi into politicizing massacre, he dismantles them on live TV. This is why CNN is failing. Americans are tired of this. When does the far left ever not politicize a tragic event? President Trump has the highest approval rating in Israel. This whole trying to blame Trump ain't going to work. Funny how the far left never wants to call out anti-Semites such as Louis Farrakhan, who the Democrat Party is pretty cozy with. Listen to Mark Levin's radio show last night. Theomandashia. In all the cop murders while Obama was in office, his Black Lives Matter rhetoric was never blamed for it, despite it being the actual cause. Yet liberals are blaming real Donald Trump for the synagogue shooting with no correlation? From Conservative Review. Rabbi Jeffrey Myers, the rabbi of Tree of Life Synagogue, where 11 people were heinously murdered by an evil anti-Semite on Saturday, was prompted by a CNN anchor on Monday morning to assign blame to President Donald Trump for the attack. He repeatedly refused to do so. CNN's Alison Camerata interviewed Myers about the attack and asked him, "Do you blame anyone for what happened there at the Tree of Life beyond the gunman?" His response was exactly what we all need to hear. "I don't really foist blame upon any person," Myers said. "Hate does not know religion, race, creed, political party. It's not a political issue in any way, shape, or form. Hate does not know any of those things. It exists in all people." Camerata wanted to lead the discussion in a more anti-Trump direction. She asked the leading question, but can hate be cultivated? The answer she was looking for is yes, and President Trump's rhetoric cultivates hatred, as the leftist media has loudly declared following the shooting. Still, Myers refused to go where she led. "I think you're raising one of those great questions that people far smarter than I can answer," Myers replied. "I do recall this. If we look in the Bible after the story of the flood and Noah, God regretfully says to Noah, 'I have learned that man from his youth is prone to evil,' which is, you would think, a horrific thing for God to tell us. The message I get from that is, yes, there is the possibility of hate in all people. But there is also the possibility of good, and good will always win out over hate if we let it in each of us," the rabbi added. "And I have seen so much good these past 2 days, the emails, the texts." He described how people of every religion have poured out their support for the community of Tree of Life Synagogue. An example of what he's talking about are 2 Muslim groups that have crowdfunded more than $100,000 for the victims of the shooting. These are the good things the media ought to focus on, because as the rabbi said, it shows me good will always win over evil. But towards the end of the interview, Camerata brought up President Donald Trump explicitly. She noted that President Trump said he'd like to visit the synagogue and asked point-blank, "Do you want him to come?" For context, several leftist Jewish activists have sent a letter to Trump telling the president that he is not welcome in the city of Pittsburgh unless he fully denounces white nationalism, stops targeting and endangering all minorities, and ceases his assault on immigrants and refugees. One final time, Rabbi Myers refused to politicize the evil act of hatred committed against his congregation. "The President of the United States is always welcome. I'm a citizen, he's my president," Myers said. "He is certainly welcome. Watch the full interview."